Greetings from Costa Rica. Today I'm talking about rental properties and critical factors to generating good ROI that have nothing to do with being in the center of a tourism hub in Guanacaste. Thanks very much for joining me today. Once again, I wanted to get out from behind my desk, go visit some amazing exclusive listings, and provide some information to you, my faithful audience. Often I can be somewhat pessimistic as to the returns that you're going to see on any particular property if your plan is to just park cash in Guanacaste. Property management fees are very high, taxes are going up and not getting any easier, and you frequently see that some of the big tourism markets can be absolutely saturated with a lot of rental properties. And frequently, people assume that in order to get the best ROI, they should buy a property in one of the tourism hotspots where you've got the greatest volume of organic visitors, that huge search volume online for the location, and that really busy sort of tourism scene that attracts a lot of people. However, those markets can frequently be oversaturated with rentals, driving down prices. They frequently have very inexpensive hotel rooms available that compete with Airbnbs on the market. And overall, if you're looking at investing dollar for dollar, you can get a lot more for your budget if you look outside of those tourism hotspots and end up with a different property that provides a better experience for your visitors. And that's really the first critical factor I want to talk about. Beyond getting a condo in an absolutely hotspot tourism location, first and foremost, you need to be focused on finding a great experience for your visitors if your hope is to build up a long-term Airbnb or VRBO rental income. People come to Costa Rica for experiences like being on the beach by themselves, being able to snorkel right off the coast, do all kinds of things out in nature, interact with turtles coming up to lay their eggs. A lot of those experiences are not available in the tourism hubs. And while you may immediately start with rentals in those kinds of locations, over time you may have very mediocre reviews because A, your budget might have bought you something that's a little more basic, and B, once people are in those locations, they may not have something that feels like a special Costa Rica experience. Let's talk a little bit about where I am today and why I'm going on and on about this. These are the Las Brisas beachfront condos here in Playa Junquial. Behind me, you've got the gorgeous community pool. And you will notice that, yes, these condos are purely beachfront. That can be something that is an incredibly rare asset here in Costa Rica. And when visitors come to condos like this, when they're able to walk from their condo directly out to the sand, it's a very memorable experience that they are highly likely to book for the next year. You might be surprised to find out that I do actually have a couple of condos listed for sale here in the Las Brisas complex, and I want to visit them both to demonstrate what I'm talking about. First, we're coming over to condo number 6 here. We'll turn around and look out at the beach. There is a large cohort of visitors to Costa Rica every year who really want to spend their vacation relaxing in a calm, beautiful spot rather than going out every evening or being in the center of lots of tourists bustling around them. At Las Brisas, one of the really special things is that during their vacation, they can be looking at the ocean every moment of the day. And really, because beachfront real estate is so scarce in Costa Rica, being able to look out from your kitchen window and watch the waves roll up onto the beach like this is something you rarely see in any Airbnb properties. Another absolutely critical factor is going to be obviously your appreciation. In Costa Rica real estate, you're not guaranteed that an area developing tremendously is going to boost your property's value a ton. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to that where you've seen, for example, in Nosara, real estate values just absolutely go through the roof no matter what you owned over the last 15 years. But overall, my suggestion is that your goal should be to find real estate that is truly irreplaceable, or at least that can't be easily copied over and over and over again. When you're looking at something like one of the few beachfront condos in Costa Rica, you're guaranteed that over time, A, they're not going to be titling more beachfront real estate, which Las Brisas sits on titled land, and development is going to continue to be difficult to achieve at reasonable prices. I want to show you the second condo that we have for sale here in the Las Brisas complex. Whereas over at number 6, there were 1,300 square feet of interior space. This is a bit larger footprint at 1,600 square feet. They've fully remodeled the condo from the flooring through the lighting. They've done every detail to be very attractive and to sort of call attention when you were to make a profile. And you can see that once people came here, again, worked in this or cooked in this absolutely beautiful kitchen, looking out at the waves, enjoying their calm vacation here in an area where there's no loud music playing at night, no tourists on the beach, and in an area where they really get to relax and calm down. They're going to have an absolutely fabulous experience. You're going to see a lot of people rebook immediately for the next year, and over time, you're going to have a solid following for your rental property. Within our community, beachfront properties consistently demonstrate better results. And when we're looking at the broader rental market, what you see is that a large portion of all of Guanacaste rental properties are rented from January through April, our high season. That occupancy is pretty consistent whether you're in a tourism hotspot or a location that's not quite as developed. Of course, if you go way out in the woods or up to the top of a mountain, that's not necessarily true. But here at Las Brisas, we're in a community where you still have paved highway access all the way to the beach. You've got 10 restaurants in town and a fairly decent, small sort of social scene. You also have quick access to Tamarindo in 45 minutes. Let's take a quick look at Las Brisas number 15 here, just to give you an idea of what a fully upgraded beachfront condo looks like. They've done every window and door here. The flooring has been replaced, as I mentioned. They've brought in beautiful furniture that can be difficult to find in Costa Rica. Back where I was in the kitchen, you can see they've completely redone from the original kitchen to this beautiful modern flat teak cabinetry design. They're using their second bedroom here, or they have been, as an office and sitting room because these folks were working online. You can easily put a Murphy bed or a queen bed or king in this room. And as you see in the bathrooms, they've done every detail as well. Of course, if you'd like to know more about Las Brisas 15 or 6, be sure to send me an email to matt@costaricamat.com. Do also be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be back next Friday as always. Thanks very much for watching.